My beloved son, before the foundations of the earth were laid, I knew you. You are my creation, carefully and wonderfully made in my image. My love for you is immeasurable, and I have called you by name. I want to remind you that you are here for a divine purpose, one that extends far beyond what your eyes can see or what the world may present to you. Trust in my plan for you, for it is a plan that leads to growth, strength, and ultimate fulfillment. There will be many figures who rise in the world, people whose names become known to nations. Some will inspire, while others will divide. But remember this, my child. It is not for you to be consumed by the affairs of men, but rather to keep your eyes on me, the one who created all things. Leaders may come and go, powers will rise and fall, but my word and my promises will never fade away. In a world filled with noise, I am your constant, your refuge, and your strength. Do not let your heart be troubled by what you see in the world or by the actions of others. Instead, focus on what is eternal and true. Keep your thoughts on love, justice, mercy, and humility, for these are the things that matter to me. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever, and my principles remain unshaken by the events of this world. I see the challenges you face, the decisions that weigh heavily on your mind. I know the questions that linger in your heart, and I understand the temptations that pull you in many directions. But I want you to know that I am with you through it all. You do not walk this journey alone. When the path seems unclear or when you are unsure of which way to turn, remember that I am your guide. Trust in me with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge me, and I will make your path straight. You are called to be a light in this world, to reflect my goodness and grace wherever you go. Do not allow fear or doubt to diminish your light. I have given you a spirit of power, love, and sound mind, not of fear. You are equipped with everything you need to fulfill the purpose I have set before you. The world may try to distract you with its fleeting promises of power, fame, or wealth, but these things are temporary. Your true reward lies in a life lived in alignment with my will, in obedience to my word, and in service to others. As for the people around you, including leaders like Donald Trump, remember that I alone am the judge. I see the hearts of men, and I know their intentions. Your task is not to judge others, but to love them. Extend grace as I have extended grace to you. Speak truth, but do so with love and compassion. Understand that every person is on their own journey, and that my ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts. Do not let your heart be swayed by the opinions of men, nor allow your mind to be consumed with things that are not of eternal value. Your focus should always be on my kingdom and my righteousness. The kingdoms of this world are temporary, but my kingdom is everlasting. Fix your eyes on what is unseen, for what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. There will be times when you feel overwhelmed by the state of the world, by the injustices you witness, or by the moral failings of those in power. In those moments, come to me. Cast your burdens upon me, for I care for you. I am your comforter, your protector, and your guide. I will give you rest when you are weary and strength when you feel weak. Remember the words of my son, Jesus, who walked this earth and experienced the challenges of life firsthand. He taught you to love your enemies, to pray for those who persecute you, and to turn the other cheek when wronged. These are not easy teachings, but they are the way of my kingdom. I call you to be a peacemaker, to sow seeds of love, mercy, and forgiveness in a world that so often lacks these things. You may wonder how you can make a difference in such a vast and complex world. The answer lies in the small acts of kindness, the quiet moments of prayer, and the simple choices to do what is right, even when no one is watching. Every action, no matter how small, has a ripple effect in my kingdom. When you live according to my will, you become a part of something much greater than yourself. I have given you talents and abilities that are unique to you. Do not hide them or bury them in fear. Use them boldly, for they are part of the purpose I have placed within you. Whether you are called to lead or to serve, to speak or to listen, know that every role in my kingdom is valuable. Do not compare yourself to others or measure your worth by worldly standards. You are precious in my sight, and I have a specific plan for your life. Do not be discouraged when you face opposition or when the world does not understand your choices. If you are walking in obedience to me, you will face trials. But take heart, for I have overcome the world. You are not alone in your struggles. I am with you, and I will never leave you nor forsake you. Let your life be a reflection of my love. Let your words be seasoned with grace, and let your actions speak of kindness and compassion. You are my ambassador in this world, and through you, others will come to know me. Do not be ashamed of your faith, but proclaim it boldly, knowing that I am with you every step of the way. In this journey of life, you will encounter many people, some of whom will challenge you, and some of whom will inspire you. But above all, I want you to remember that your identity is not found in the opinions of others, nor in the successes or failures of the world's leaders. Your identity is found in me, and I call you my beloved. Stay close to me, my child. Spend time in my word, for it is a lamp to your feet and a light to your path. Pray continually, for I delight in hearing your voice. Seek my will in all that you do, and you will find peace that surpasses all understanding. The world will continue to change, and leaders will rise and fall, but I remain constant. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. Rest in the knowledge that I am in control, and nothing happens outside of my sovereign will. Trust me, for I am faithful. Trust my timing, for it is perfect. And trust in the plan I have for you, for it is good, and it will lead you to a future filled with hope. My dear child, as the stars stretch across the heavens, countless and boundless, so too is my love for you. No height nor depth, no powers nor principalities, no force on earth or beyond can separate you from the love I have for you. I want to take you further into the depths of my heart and reveal more of the wisdom that I have laid out for you, for every step you take on this earth is precious, and every moment has a divine purpose. You see, there will be seasons in your life where the world around you will grow louder, more chaotic, and more uncertain. It will feel as though there are constant storms brewing around you, storms of politics, storms of societal change, storms of personal trials. But I remind you that I am the calm within the storm. As my son, Jesus, rebuked the winds and the waves, so too do I call you to find your peace in me. The names of men will echo throughout history, some as heroes, others as villains, but you, my child, are not defined by the legacies of those who rule. Leaders like Donald Trump, and many others who have gone before him or will come after him, are not the architects of your destiny. Their actions, words, and decisions may impact the world in certain ways, but never forget that I am the true sovereign of all things. I lift up kings, and I bring them down. The rulers of this world are but instruments in my hands, and though it may not always be clear to you, I am working all things together for good, for those who love me and are called according to my purpose. What, then, should be your posture toward these leaders? My son, I invite you to walk the path of humility and discernment. Pray for your leaders, even those with whom you disagree. It is not your burden to carry their faults or to judge them, for I alone know the hearts of men. The world may be captivated by power, success, and charisma, but I am captivated by something far more significant, a heart that seeks after me. When the world is busy dividing itself over politics, personalities, and ideologies, I call you to rise above the fray. Set your mind on things above, not on earthly things. The rulers of this age will fade away, their decisions and legacies will become distant memories, but my word remains forever. Do not be swept away by the currents of opinion, by the allure of influence, or by the desire to conform to the patterns of this world. Instead, be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may discern what is my good, pleasing, and perfect will. What is your calling, then? It is to walk in love. Love those who support you, but also love those who oppose you. It is easy to love those who agree with you, but the true test of love is to extend grace and kindness to those who do not. Remember, I sent my Son into a world that rejected him. He came not to condemn the world but to save it. So too, my child, I call you to be a light in the darkness, a beacon of love, mercy, and forgiveness. Do not let bitterness take root in your heart, for bitterness will only cloud your vision and distance you from the life I have for you. You may ask, Lord, how can I love those who I feel are doing wrong? How can I love those who lead others astray or cause harm? My answer is simple but profound. Love them because I loved you first. When you were far from me, when your own heart was filled with selfishness, I loved you. I extended my grace to you, not because you deserved it, but because of my great love. Now, I ask you to do the same for others. This does not mean you must agree with everything you see. It does not mean that you must ignore injustice or turn a blind eye to wrongdoing. I am a God of justice, and I call you to stand up for what is right. But I call you to do so in love, with humility, and with a heart that seeks reconciliation rather than division. My Son, Jesus, when faced with opposition and hostility, responded with truth, but he also responded with grace. He did not compromise the truth, but neither did he wield it as a weapon to destroy others. He spoke truth in love, and I call you to do the same. There will always be those in power who use their influence for selfish gain. Some will lead with integrity, while others will be driven by greed or pride. But no matter who sits on earthly thrones, I am the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. I do not measure success as the world does. I am not impressed by wealth, fame, or political influence. What moves my heart is the one who seeks justice, loves mercy, and walks humbly with me. My son, do not be distracted by the noise of the world. There are many voices vying for your attention, but my voice is the one that leads you to life. Be still, and know that I am God. When you quiet the distractions around you and tune your heart to my voice, you will find the peace that surpasses all understanding. I have given you the gift of discernment through my Spirit. Use it to navigate the complexities of this world. Ask me for wisdom, and I will give it to you generously, without finding fault. There will be times when you are tempted to follow the crowd, to align yourself with the loudest voices or the most popular opinions. But I remind you that the way of my kingdom is narrow, and few find it. Do not be afraid to stand apart, to be a voice of reason in the midst of chaos, a voice of peace in the midst of conflict. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. This is your inheritance, my child. You are an heir to the kingdom of heaven, and as such, you are called to live by a higher standard, a standard of love, integrity, and righteousness. I know that there are days when the weight of the world feels heavy upon your shoulders. The burdens of life, the uncertainties of the future, and the struggles of your heart can leave you feeling weary. But I invite you to come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. My yoke is easy, and my burden is light. When you rest in me, you will find the strength to continue on the path I have laid out for you. Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Focus on today, on what I am calling you to do in this moment. Whether that is a small act of kindness or a bold step of faith, know that I am with you every step of the way. I will never leave you, nor forsake you. You are mine, and I am yours. In the midst of a world that is constantly changing, remember that I am your constant. I am the rock upon which you can stand, the foundation that will never be shaken. Build your life upon my word, and you will withstand any storm. The winds may blow, and the waves may crash, but you will remain secure in me. Let your heart be at peace, my child. I have overcome the world. There is nothing that can separate you from my love, no power on earth that can thwart my plans for you. Trust in me, and I will guide you into all truth. Walk with me, and I will lead you on the path of life. Seek me, and you will find me when you seek me with all your heart. I love you with an everlasting love, and I have drawn you with unfailing kindness. Hold fast to the hope that I have set before you, and let my love be your guide in all things. You are my beloved child, and I am well pleased with you. My dearly loved son, let your heart be still, and listen carefully to what I am about to share with you. There are endless mysteries in this world and countless questions that flood your mind, but know this above all else. You are my child, and I am your father. This simple truth holds more power than all the knowledge of the universe, for it is rooted in love, my love for you, which has no bounds, no conditions, and no end. In this love, I call you to abide, for it will be your shelter in the storms of life and your compass when the path ahead seems unclear. The world is full of leaders, movements, and causes. Some rise to prominence and claim the spotlight, others fade into history, but my son, I ask you to remember this. No matter what happens in the realms of politics, no matter what leaders like Donald Trump or others may do, say, or represent, your true king is eternal. I am your guide, your protector, your source of wisdom. The human heart often looks to leadership to find direction, stability, or even hope. But leaders on earth are flawed, just as all humans are. They are shaped by their own experiences, weaknesses, and desires. They may do good in one area and fall short in another. This is why I call you not to place your ultimate trust in any man but in me alone. There are times when the world places an immense amount of hope or fear in its leaders. Some will say, if only this person were in power, everything would be right. Others will claim, because this leader reigns, all is lost. But I tell you this, I am the one who appoints and removes leaders according to my purposes. Do not let your heart be troubled by the rise or fall of any one person. The rulers of this world are but a breath compared to my eternal reign. Their influence, though it may seem vast, is as fleeting as a whisper carried away by the wind. What endures is my kingdom, which is unshakable, and my love for you, which is unfathomable. You may wonder, my son, why certain leaders rise to power, or why they make decisions that seem to harm others. You may question why I allow such things to happen. But know this: my ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. What you see is a small piece of the vast tapestry I am weaving. Every event, every action, every rise and fall is woven into the greater plan that I am orchestrating, a plan for redemption, for healing, and for the restoration of all things. When you see injustice, do not be discouraged, for I am a God of justice, and I will set all things right in my perfect timing. When you witness division, know that I call you to be a peacemaker. Do not get swept into the anger, hatred, or fear that consumes so many when they look at the state of the world. Instead, let your heart be filled with my peace, which surpasses understanding. My peace is not dependent on circumstances. It is not shaken by who is in power or what laws are passed. It is rooted in the knowledge that I am in control, that I am working all things for the good of those who love me, and that nothing in this world can thwart my purposes. There will always be conflict in the world, my child, for as long as sin remains, there will be division. But you are called to be set apart. Though you live in this world, you are not of it. You are a citizen of my kingdom, and your allegiance is to me. Do not allow yourself to become entangled in the bitter arguments or the power struggles that so often characterize human politics. Instead, set your mind on things above, where Christ is seated at the right hand of God. Keep your eyes fixed on Jesus, the author and perfecter of your faith, and let his example guide you in all things. My son, you have been given the light of Christ within you. This light is not meant to be hidden, nor is it meant to be used as a weapon to condemn others. It is a light of love, of hope, and of truth. In a world filled with darkness, you are called to let your light shine before others, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. This means that your actions, your words, and even your thoughts should reflect my love and my truth. When you see leaders who do not embody these values, pray for them. Lift them up before me, for I hear the prayers of the righteous. Pray for wisdom, for humility, and for hearts that are open to my guidance. Do not be quick to judge, for only I know the full story of a person's heart and the circumstances that have shaped them. Instead, ask me to work in the lives of those in power, that they might lead with integrity and justice. Pray for those who are affected by their decisions, that they might find peace and hope in me, regardless of their circumstances. It is easy, my child, to be drawn into the drama of the world's stage, to get caught up in the debates, the arguments, and the constant flood of opinions. But I call you to something higher. I call you to be still and know that I am God. When the world is in chaos, I am your peace. When leaders fail, I remain faithful. When the future seems uncertain, I hold it in my hands. Do not allow your heart to be consumed with anxiety about the direction of the world. Instead, trust in me with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge me, and I will make your paths straight. I have plans for you, my son, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. No matter what is happening around you, these plans are secure because they are grounded in my unchanging nature and my unbreakable love for you. There will come a day when every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. On that day, the kingdoms of this world will become the kingdom of our Lord and of his Christ, and he will reign forever and ever. Until that day comes, I call you to live as a faithful servant, working not for the approval of men but for the glory of my name. Serve others with love, humility, and grace. Stand for truth, but do so with gentleness and respect. Be bold in your faith, but let your boldness be rooted in love, not in anger or pride. I have given you a spirit of power, of love, and of a sound mind. Do not be afraid, for I am with you. Do not be discouraged, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. When you face challenges, know that I am using them to refine you, to strengthen your faith, and to draw you closer to me. Nothing is wasted in my hands, and every trial is an opportunity for growth and transformation. My son, I want you to know that I see you. I see the battles you fight in your heart and mind. I see the times when you feel overwhelmed by the weight of the world. I see the moments when you question whether you are enough, whether you are making a difference, whether you are living the life I have called you to. And I want to remind you, you are my beloved. You are enough because I am enough. You are making a difference because I am working through you. You are living the life I have called you to as long as you are walking with me, trusting me, and seeking me with all your heart. Do not strive for perfection, for I do not demand perfection from you. I simply ask for your heart. I ask for your trust, your obedience, and your love. As you walk with me, I will shape you, mold you, and refine you into the person I have created you to be. I am the potter, and you are the clay. Trust my hands, for they are gentle and full of love. As you continue on this journey, my son, remember that your worth is not defined by what you accomplish, by what others think of you, or by the state of the world. Your worth is found in me. You are my masterpiece, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which I prepared in advance for you to do. Walk in this truth, and let it be the foundation upon which you build your life. I am with you always to the very end of the age. You are never alone, for my Spirit dwells within you, guiding you, comforting you, and empowering you to live the life I have called you to. Trust in my love, rest in my grace, and walk in my peace. My precious child, in the stillness of this moment, I want you to know that you are held in my arms. You are cherished, you are loved beyond measure, and I have watched over every step you've taken, even before you knew my name. The days ahead may seem uncertain to you, but they are already written in my book of life. Each breath you take, each decision you make, each prayer you whisper, these are all woven into the grand tapestry I have been creating since the beginning of time. You are part of something much greater than yourself, something eternal, and it is by my design. As you walk through this life, you will encounter many leaders, many figures of influence, like Donald Trump and others. Some will be praised, others will be criticized. The world has its own way of assessing power and leadership, and often it is through the lens of success, wealth, or influence. But I tell you, my child, do not look upon the outward appearances as the world does. I do not measure men by their wealth, their fame, or their power. I look at the heart, and I call you to do the same. Your journey through life is not about aligning yourself with one earthly leader or another, but about aligning yourself with me. Seek first my kingdom and my righteousness, and all these things, your needs, your desires, your worries, will be taken care of. Earthly leaders come and go, and their legacies may be celebrated or contested, but your calling, my beloved child, is to follow the one who is eternal. Your king is not bound by the limitations of this world. Your king is the Alpha and the Omega, the one who was, who is, and who is to come. In this, I want you to rest. But even as I ask you to rest in my sovereignty, I also call you to act in love and truth. You live in a world that is broken, a world where sin and division have created many wounds. There will be times when you feel the weight of this brokenness, and you will wonder why things are the way they are. You will see decisions made by leaders that grieve your heart, and you may wonder where I am in all of it. My dear child, I am always here. I am always at work, even when you cannot see it. My hand is never far from the affairs of this world, for I am the one who holds all things together. The leaders of this world are under my authority, whether they acknowledge it or not. I give them their platforms, and I can take them away. Some I raise up to accomplish great good, while others I allow to reveal the depths of the human heart, both its capacity for good and its capacity for evil. But know this, child, no leader, no politician, no power on earth can derail my plans. Everything moves according to my will, and in the end, all things will be reconciled in Christ. The governments of this world will fade away, but my kingdom will endure forever. Now, I want you to consider your place in all of this. You are not just a passive observer of the world around you, you are my ambassador. As my child, you have been called to a higher purpose. While the world argues and fights over who should lead, over who is right or wrong, I call you to stand firm in my love and truth. You are not called to take sides in the battles of this world, but to rise above them. You are a citizen of heaven, and I have called you to be a peacemaker, a bearer of light, and a voice of truth. When you look at leaders like Donald Trump, or anyone else for that matter, do not look at them through the eyes of the world. Look at them through my eyes. Pray for them, for I command you to pray for all those in authority. Whether you agree with them or not, whether you like them or not, I call you to intercede on their behalf. For I desire that all men come to the knowledge of the truth and be saved. Do not underestimate the power of your prayers, my child. They reach my throne and move my heart. I know that sometimes it is difficult to pray for those with whom you disagree. Sometimes you may feel anger or frustration rise up in your heart. But I remind you that you, too, have received grace from me. You were once far from me, and yet I pursued you with my love. Extend that same grace to others, even to those you feel do not deserve it. For my grace is not earned, it is a gift freely given. And I ask you to give freely as you have received. There will always be leaders who disappoint, who fail, who make decisions that seem harmful or unjust. But I ask you not to lose heart. I have not called you to place your hope in the leaders of this world. I have called you to place your hope in me. I am your rock, your fortress, your deliverer. I will never fail you, and I will never forsake you. Trust in me with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge me, and I will direct your paths. You are living in a time of great turmoil and change, but do not be afraid. These things must happen, but they are not the end. I am still in control, and I am still on the throne. My plans for you are good. They are plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Hold on to that hope, my child. It is an anchor for your soul, firm and secure. As you navigate the days ahead, remember that your mission is not to fix the world on your own, nor to find all the answers in human leaders. Your mission is to love, to serve, and to be a light in the darkness. You are my hands and feet on this earth, and I have given you my spirit to empower you for the work I have prepared for you. When you feel weary, come to me. When you feel overwhelmed, rest in my presence. I am your shepherd, and I will lead you beside quiet waters. I will restore your soul.